Hey guys, welcome to another Photoshop tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to make a YouTube 2.0 background. The first thing you're going to need is the template. I've put a link in the description of where you can download it. Once you've downloaded it, just load it up in Photoshop and it will look something like this. The first thing we're going to do is go Layer, New Layer, click OK, and go to our Line tool. Now set the line colour to something that will stand out amongst your background. I've got mine at white, and then just hold shift and drag it down each side of the black box. It doesn't have to be exact, it can just be roughly along the side. This will just indicate what you'll be able to see on your YouTube background, because the black is the bit that won't be seen because it'll be behind your videos, and the blue is the bit that will be seen because it will be at the sides. Now the next thing we're going to do is go Layer, New Layer, and click OK. Drag it below our lines layer and set the colours to the colours you want your background to be. I'm going to have mine a darkish blue for the foreground and a black for the background. The next thing we're going to do is go Filter, Render Clouds. It will look something like that. It doesn't look too good at the minute, but we'll change it. Next we're going to go Filter, Pixelate, Mesmetint, and change it from fine dots to short strokes. Then click OK. Now we're going to go Filter again, Blur, and add a radial blur. You want the amount at 100, blur method zoom, and quality at best. And then you can change the blur center depending on your preference. I'm going to have mine like in the middle. And once you've got that done, you're going to click OK and wait for it to render. And look at that, it looks a lot better already. There's one more thing we can do. We can go to Filter and go Distort and Twirl, and you can like twirl it to make it look a bit more distorted, if you get what I mean. Although I don't particularly like that effect, so I'm not going to do it. I'm going to hit cancel. Next we're going to add in a new layer again, and this layer is going to be our highlight layer, so just name it highlight and click OK. Make sure it's above your background layer, and you want to go to the elliptical marquee tool just here. Okay, now you want to set your foreground color to white, click OK, and just zoom out if you have to. With this we're just going to start from about up here and just drag it down so you get a nice curve about halfway down your page. Once you've done that, you can let go, and now we're going to go to the gradient tool, set the gradient style foreground to transparent, click OK. And we're going to start the gradient at about here, holding shift and dragging it down to just below the selection. Once you've done that, it will look something like that. It's quite a nice highlight. Now we're going to add in some text. So go to your text box and make a nice big text box here. Type in your YouTube name, any colour you want. You can change the colour up here, the size here, the font here. I got this font from defont.com. It's a really useful website for downloading different fonts from. Okay, so once you've typed that in, we're going to go Edit, Transform, Rotate 90 degrees clockwise, and have it over at the side, over at the right hand side. Now I'm just going to zoom in to see it better, and we can add some layer styles if you want. I'm going to add a drop shadow to make it look a bit more 3D. I mean, you can mess around with these and like add bevel and emboss or outer glow, inner glow, whatever. I'm just going to have a drop shadow though. Once I've got that, I'm going to click OK. And now to add a reflection to my text, I'm going to duplicate the text layer by dragging the layer onto this button here, and then I'm going to go Edit, Transform, Rotate horizontally, and that will bring me a replica that has been rotated horizontally from my previous layer. So now I'm going to join the two here. Once I've done that, I'm going to just drag my rotated layer below my normal layer. Okay, and then I'm just going to add a mask to this layer. Now what we're going to do is make sure you have foreground set to black, background set to white, and go to your gradient tool. We're going to just have it set foreground to transparent and click OK. And then starting about here, just hold shift and draw a straight gradient, and it will make it become like transparent. It looks like it's being reflected. So if I just zoom out, there you can see it looks kind of reflected. The next thing we're going to want to do is, depending what your channel is about really, you can use a different image, but say my channel was musical, I'd probably want to include a musical instrument or something. So I've got my image here, it's a guitar. Just drag it onto your YouTube background. It's a bit too big, but I'll just fix that by hitting Command or Control T to transform it. And now I'm just going to hold shift and scale it down a bit. Once I've done that, I'll just place it where I want it really, maybe transform it a bit more again. Okay, so it looks good at the minute. I'm going to apply that transformation, and I know this bit of the guitar won't be seen, but it will look alright anyway. Now I'm just going to zoom out to take a better look at my background by hitting Z on my keypad, then holding down Alt and just clicking. As you can see, it looks alright at the minute. There's still a couple more things we need to do. One of these being making a gradient for it to fade out from. So we're going to go to our rectangular marquee tool and make quite a big selection down the bottom here. Now what you want to do is set your foreground color to black, click OK, and then go to our gradient tool right here. You want it set foreground to transparent. Once you've done that, click OK, and inside the selection, just inside, we're going to hold shift and drag it up so it's like this. Okay, once you've done that, you can just deselect the selection and it looks alright. If you want, you can add like effects to the guitar by double clicking and like adding a drop shadow maybe to make it stand out a bit more, or I mean you could do beveling, emboss or outer glow, but I'm just going to keep it at that for now. And I mean, you'll vary your images and everything. You might add more images, you might just add more text or use more brushes, I don't know. But the last thing you're going to do is go over to your lines that we made earlier and turn them off by clicking the little eye icon here. Once they've been turned off, you want to save it as a JPEG. So on format, click on it and scroll down to JPEG and save it just to your desktop and click save. Now YouTube only allows you to upload backgrounds that are 256k or less, so you're going to change the quality so it's just under 256k. Okay, I'm going to set my quality to 8, which is quite a high quality. Then I'm just going to hit OK, and once it's saved, you are finished. Thank you for watching my tutorial on how to make a YouTube 2.0 background. I hope it's helped you guys, and remember to subscribe.